You're welcome back to Prep Station Biology 2024. We've been talking about heredity, we've been talking about inheritance, and we've been solving questions. In case you are just joining, please watch for previous episode. Thank you. The last question that we did talked about monohybrid inheritance, and it says if an organism carries two different alleles for a particular gene, then it is called what? The answer is heterozygous. The answer is heterozygous from the word zygote and hetero, different. Okay. Then question number 6. The development of big muscle by a wrestler is an example of dash. That's 2022. A, acquired characteristics. B, inherited characteristics. C, mutation. Then D, atrophication. Now, the right answer for this question is A, because the wrestler acquired that trait. It wasn't inherited. He acquired it because of the work he's doing. Now, question number 7. A universal recipient of blood belongs to blood group. Universal recipient is someone or a kind of blood group that can receive blood from every other blood groups. And what kind of blood group do you think that would be? That is blood group AB. Blood group AB. Blood group AB. Now, question number 8. When a color-blind woman marries a normal man, what is the probability of their son being colorblind? Remember what I told you, that the X chromosome is stronger than the Y. You get my point? The X chromosome is stronger than the Y, but the woman is colorblind. Now, it is possible that the woman might have the trait for colorblind, which means that out of the two X chromosomes that she's having, one is bearing the colorblind trait. But in this case, she is colorblind. Now, even if it is recessive, are you getting my point? Even if it is recessive, if the male child now inherits that guy is going to be colorblind. Now, the question is this: what is the probability of their son be colorblind? It's going to be 100% colorblind. You cannot escape it. Okay, so this is D. I mean B. Okay. Then the next one. Which of the following is true in blood transfusion? Which of the following is true in blood transfusion? A person of blood group AB can donate blood to only another person of blood group AB. Now, persons of blood group A and B can donate or receive from one another. Remember that A and B are not together, right? They are not together, so they can't come together. That's not going to be possible. Then a person of blood group AB can receive blood only from persons of blood group A or B. A person of blood group AB can receive blood only from persons of blood group A or B. Remember that this blood group AB is known as what? Universal recipient, right? Then a person of blood group O can donate only to a person of blood group O. Now, this is not correct, because blood group O is known as universal donor. It can give to anybody. So that leaves us with option A and option C. A person of blood group AB can donate blood only to another blood group AB. Yes, this one is very correct. This one is correct. A person of blood group AB is not universal donor. It is only universal recipient. It can receive from anybody, but it cannot give to anybody. Now, question number 12. If both parents are heterozygous for a trait, heterozygous means that the two parents, let's say this is the trait, let's say this is height, right? The two of them are heterozygous. This is how to write it. Now, the probability that an offspring will receive recessive allele for that trait. Now, let's do it. This is not going to be recessive because you are having two dominants coming together. This is not going to be recessive too because we have a dominant and a recessive. So that is heterozygous, just like the parents. Then this one is not going to be recessive because you have a dominant and a recessive heterozygous 2. Then this one, this is a recessive plus another recessive. So you're going to have this. So this is the only child that will be recessive out of the 4 offspring that will be given by 2. And that is what? 1 over 4. So the correct answer for this question is option B. Okay, that's the correct answer for that question. Okay, so we move to the next topic, which of course is what I call variation. Variation means that the differences that exist even in a population of organisms, all of them are of the same species, they have so much resemblance, but yet, why are they not still the same thing? Are you getting my point? Why are they not still the same thing? So in a population of organisms of the same species, they are still not the same thing. This is because even though they have the same features and characteristics, but yet they still show many differences such as skin color, height, size, weight, fingerprint, and even blood types. You would agree with me that even in your school, yes, all of us are not the same thing. We are different, right? We are different. Some people are dark, some are not. Some people are tall, some are not. Some people are chubby, while some are not. So this is known as variation. How we differ, how all of us are not the same thing would have been a problem. If we are all the same thing, someone would have done something and they would have given it to another person. But thank God that we're not the same thing. So there are 2 types of variation. We have morphological or continuous variation. Then we also have physiological or discontinuous. Please cool down. We have PhD and we have what? MC. PhD, physiological or discontinuous. MC, morphological or continuous variation. So now let's take them one by one. Morphological or continuous variation. Now, in continuous variation, there is a series of intermediate that connect the extremes. What do I mean by that? Like intermediate in between that connect the extremes. There is no limit on the value that can occur within a population. There is no limit. There's no limit. Now, look at complexion now, right? There's no limit to it. Yes, somebody can be fair, somebody can be dark, somebody can be dark. Somebody can be fair and super fair. You get that now? There's no limit. There's even look at fingerprint. There's no limit to the fingerprint that men can have. Different kind of fingerprint exists. Look at the weight. Different kind of weight. Look at the size. Look at height. There's no limit. Look at the root size. Look at the leaf size. Look at the size of petals and the size of sepals. Those are examples of morphological or continuous variation. Now, so let's look at discontinuous variation now. Now, a discontinuous variation may be genetically induced, and it may also result from environmental factors such as light, humidity, soil, altitude, and food supply. Then it can be influenced by a variety of genes. Now, but one thing you need to know about discontinuous variation is that there is no intermediate. There is no intermediate. What do I mean by that? Like, look at this now. It's either you are a boy or you are a girl. You can't be in between. Yes. It's either you are brave or you are mild. You cannot be in between. It's either you are aggressive or you are not. Those are discontinuous variation. Am I with you now? Those are discontinuous variation. It's either you can hold your tongue or you cannot hold it. It's either you can taste PTC. What's the meaning? Phenylthiocarbamide. Some people taste it and it is tasteless. And some people, when they taste it, they are able to feel the taste. Yes. Those are discontinuous variation. Are you getting it now? And don't forget I told you that these can be caused by genes. Discontinuous variation can be caused by genes. Why continuous variation cannot be caused by genes? Discontinuous variations are physiological, while continuous variation are what? Morphological. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. So let's talk about the applications of variation. How do we apply it? Earlier on in one of the episodes that we've had, I talked about application of heredity and genetics, right? But here we talk about applications of variation. The knowledge and application of variation, of genetic variation rather, are useful in solving major problems. I'm sure you would all agree with me. We have crime detection. Yes, crime detection, because there's no two human being in the world that can have the same fingerprint. Yes, so if they can pick the fingerprint at a crime scene, then they can use it to trace who the person is, because no two human beings have the same fingerprint. Are you there? Okay. Fingerprint patterns of every person is always the same regardless of their age. And these fingerprints are specific. They are specific. So it made it very easy to identify a person using their fingerprint. My own is not the same thing as your own. We have identical twins. We have people that look so much like each other, but yet they are not still the same thing. Okay. Then another application of variation is blood transfusion. Blood transfusion. A person's blood, a person's blood type makes identification easy and also helps in choosing which blood to transfuse to them during transfusion. Your blood type makes it very easy. Look at me now. Oh, this is my blood type. What is your own? We get to know each other. Are you get my point? So in time of blood transfusion, it will help to prevent crisis. It helps to prevent your blood from being agglutinated. Are you getting my point? Then it also helps in solving paternity disputes. Like now, you have people like two men are claiming paternity of one child. Hey, it's my child. No, it's not your own. Are you getting it now? They can just do DNA test. A simple DNA test will show who owns the child between the two claiming parties. Okay. Now, variation can solve a case of disputed paternity where there are two or more claimants to a child, except where the claimants have the same blood type. Please cool down. There's a clause to that. So if Mr. A and Mr. B are both claiming that, let's say John is their child. You get now? So what you need to do is to collect their blood, check against John's blood. But of course, this does not work if Mr. A and Mr. B both have the same blood type. They must not have the same blood type. If they do, you look for something else to identify the father. Now, this method is reliable and it can prove whether a particular man is the father of the child or not. So let's look at the questions that follow this topic. Now, question number 1. A universal recipient of blood belongs to blood group dash. I told you earlier, for academic purpose, the correct answer is O. Are you getting it now? For medical purpose, they will go into detail. Okay. Then the sum total of all observable features of an organism. All observable. Pay attention, please. Pay attention. Don't be disturbed. They said all observable. It means you can see. You can see. So because you can see, the answer is not genotype, the answer is phenotype. The phenotype is the physical manifestation of what is in the blood. Genotype is in the blood. Phenotype is what we see. So if I give you capital T, and I give you capital T, small t, if T is coding for height, the two of them will be tall. But in their blood, they are not the same thing, because one is having two capital, the other one is having one and small letter. One small letter. So genotypically they are different, but phenotypically they are the same thing. So the question says that the total of all observable feature of an organism is phenotype, because we can see it. Then the next one, paternity dispute can most accurately be resolved through the use of dash. That means, like I said earlier, people that are fighting that are trying to claim a child. Okay, option A, blood group typing. Option B, fingerprinting. Option C, fingerprinting. Then option D, DNA analysis. The correct answer for this question is DNA analysis. I'm not saying you can't use fingerprint, but DNA analysis will go deep and give you better points now. It give you a lot of reasons now to be able to identify who the father of the child is. Then a population is best described as dash. A group of the same species of organisms living together, a group of animals and plants living together, a group of insects and grasses, then different species of wild animals. I told you earlier, population and community are two words that people confuse. But don't make mistake. When you hear population, it means organisms of the same species. When you hear community, it means organisms of different species. That is why they always call it population census, because they are only counting human beings. But in our community, we have goats living with us. We have lizard and cattle. We have cows. Those are our cousins. They live with us too, because it is a community. So even if they belong to to different species, no problem. Are you there? Okay, so the right answer for this question is a group of organisms of the same species. Group of organisms of the same species living together, because that is population, the same species. Then number 5, which of the following is an example of discontinuous variation? Discontinuous variation. The range in height of a pea plant from 30 cm to 50 cm. Offspring, including 2 male cats and 3 female cats. The color of pear plant grown in the dark. The adult body weight ranging from 50 kg to 90 kg. The adult body weight ranging from 50 kg to 90 kg. If you remember, what did I call discontinuous variation for you? Pay attention, please. Discontinuous variation. I told you that it does not have what? Intermediate. That means there is no in between. Come back to this question. Range in height of a pea plant from 30 to 50. There is a range. Then offspring, including 2 male cats and 3 female cats. The color of pear plant grown in the dark. The adult body weight ranging from 50 kg to 95 kg. What is the answer? The correct answer here is B, because we have male cat and female cat. If it is not a male cat, it should be a female cat, and there's not going to be anything in between them. That's why it is called discontinuous. Now, question number 6. Which of the following is an example of continuous variation? Human blood groups, hemoglobin types, sex difference in human, then height in humans. Height in humans, which one? If you look at human blood groups, it's either you have this or you don't have this. Hemoglobin type, then sex difference too. So the only odd one out is the height in human beings. Now, question number 7. An accurate identification of a rapist can be carried out by conducting what? Which of the tests? RNA analysis, DNA analysis, blood group test, and behavioral test. The only answer that makes sense is DNA analysis, because there's no how he won't leave a part of himself behind. So that is what will be used. Okay, now let's move to the next topic, which is ecology of population. Ecology of population. Okay, now, so what is a community? A group of organisms from different species, while the population refers to a group of individuals of the same species. Now, population density is the average number of individuals in a population per unit area of volume. What am I talking about? Now, if you are trying to calculate the population density of a place, let's say this is the area here, right? Of course, you must be able to calculate the area first, right? You must be able to calculate the area first before you now be able to get the population density. Now, a population of 100 insects that live in an area of 1,000 square meters has a density of what? 1 insect per square meter, because you have what? 100 insects over what? 100 square meters. So 1 insect will live in a place that is what? 1 square meter. That means 1 meter square. Okay, so we'll take a short break now. By the time we come back, prep station biology will continue. Thank you.